In this video, we're going to punch down to a 110 block. I have my cable that I've already stripped the ends off of, and it already has a keystone jack on the end from a previous video. So the other end is what's going to go into the 110 block. So the first thing, I've chosen the port I'm going to use. I can see from right here that it's port number 5. You can see a number here, which means there's a port labeled number 5 on the other side of this block. I want to separate my wires out, separate my colors, and I want to go by what's right here. So I know that the standard is T568B, so I'm going to go by this coloring standard right here. In this case, it's blue, white, blue, orange, white, orange, green, white, green, brown, white, brown. So I'm going to separate out my wires and punch them down in that way on the number 5 port. For this, I'm going to be using my punch down tool, just like we used for the keystone. I'm going to be mindful of the fact that the cut side is right here. So when I'm punching down up here, I want the cut side to be towards the top to cut off the edge of the wire. I'm going to start with blue, white, blue. Try to get my colors aligned here. Blue, white, blue. Blue. Orange, white, orange. Green, white, green. And brown, white, brown. Got to fan those out so it's a little easier for me to see. I want to get this as close up to the top as I can. So I'm going to start out with my blue, white, and I'm going to try to place these down into these spots in the correct color combination. Okay, I've got my wires in, bent in a little bit, so hopefully they'll stay pretty close. I'm going to start with the rightmost one. I'm going to have my cut again on the top, put the punch down in, and then push pretty hard. When you hear that click, you know that it's worked. And it should be cutting off the top of the wire for me, or at least getting it to the point where I can push it off with my finger. I've got all 8 of my wires punched down. If I check, wiggle a little bit, nothing's coming out. I've got the wire up pretty tight to the top. Normally we would kind of route the cable through this way, make it nice and neat. To test to make sure this works, I've plugged a known good cable into port 5 that we punched down into. So I've got that plugged into my cable tester. I'm also going to take another known good cable. Remember, everything that we've cabled in this instance is the 568B standard. I'm going to plug the other end of that, one end of the keystone, the other end in the cable tester, and turn it on. If I get that result, all the way across, it looks like I have continuity on all these wires. That is how we test to make sure our keystones and our 110 blocks are successful.